All right. Well, welcome, Ohana. There you go. Notifications are going out. I see them coming up. Hello, everyone. We are waiting for one more. Yep, he's working on it. He's down there. I see him back. There we go. Hi, Jordan.
That's good.
Hey,
there we go.
I think I hear everyone.
And Jordan, we're live, just so you know.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're live. I want to keep everybody waiting. Hi, everyone. Share the stream out. Boop that thumbs up. Give it up for all of our wonderful, awesome guests tonight. We have the best of Disney Entertainment right here. So we're going to ask them all those dig a little deeper questions. So if you guys have any questions, of course, put it in the chat below. All of their wonderful Instagram accounts are listed in the description box, of course. So did we want to get this started by a little introduction roundtable? Scott, I know you. Who's next to you? There you go.
That's Mr. Blake.
Mr. Blake, can you just kind of say a few words if you'd like?
Cool, I'll go for it. Okay, so my name is Blake Quello. I am a entertainment performer at Walt Disney World, and I've been with the company for over 6 years.
Awesome.
Julian?
Julian?
What's up, guys? Okay, we're doing the clockwise thing.
Sure.
My name is Julian Fedulian. It doesn't say my last name, and that's not a joke. That's my real last name. And I was with Disney for about 2 years. I moved to New York last year for work.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice. And Miss Nathalia?
And the beautiful Nathalia.
Hi guys, I am Nathalia Duque. I'm originally from Colombia, and I've worked for Disney for 2 years. And right now, I'm back home in Colombia. So.
Awesome.
My name is Jordan Litz, and I've been with Disney since November 2015. So what is that, 4 years, 4.5 years-ish? And I recently left Disney to come up to New York, just like Julian.
What's up, man?
I know. Where are you?
It's a big city. Well, like I was in New York for before the virus hit, and then the lease on my apartment conveniently ended as it hit. So the folks live in DC, so they like shipped me down to wait out.
Oh, nice.
Super convenient.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where are you?
I'm still in the trenches. I'm in the Upper West Side, 72nd
Where?
Street. 72nd?
Yeah, I like by the Grace Papaya, right?
Oh yeah, right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I go to the Trader Joe's there all the time.
Dude, that's my grocery store.
That's wild, man.
Amazing.
This is crazy.
What? For you guys, being that you're in New York, you're kind of in the middle of everything. How is everything like for you guys coping? I know it's pretty tight with the lockdown and everything.
I feel honestly pretty safe. Julie and I, we go to Central Park every single day.
Yeah.
And we hazmat up. We put on our masks, and when we go shopping, we have our gloves and that sort of thing. But especially being in the Upper West Side, it's pretty residential. Everybody's very friendly, and what's really cool, we missed it already, but at 7 o'clock, the entire city goes freaking nuts for the healthcare workers. And it's so loud, and you can't really see anybody, but you hear it. It's just this uproar throughout the city, so that's pretty cool.
What I noticed too, like around the residential areas, like on the fringes of Manhattan, I feel like life is slowly returning from what I've noticed. But then like in the middle, like right around like Penn Station and then Times Square, there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like the whole
Times Square is dead.
Yeah.
There's nothing in Times Square.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They definitely don't want anybody there. They don't want people like congregating. I know in Kelsey, we've got California, Canada, Louisiana in the house.
So, Nathalia, what is it like during this time in Colombia?
Yeah.
Well, everything is, I feel super safe down here. People aren't really allowed to go outside, like only one person from the house. It's just like a national quarantine, just because this is South America and our healthcare system can't really take it if we have a lot of people with the virus. So it's pretty safe. With my parents right now, I'm home, so I feel great. Like it's good to be here.
For sure.
I bet.
Blake, where is it where you're at?
Man, I'm in Florida. Haven't left, and everything's pretty much open, and no one cares.
Have you tried to sneak out to the beach yet?
Dude, I've already went twice, and I haven't went like a Memorial Day weekend.
Times already, but I brought my mask, and you can really kind of social distance and just go past here or away from people, like it's pretty easy. I went the first day of the beach and stuff. So, like,
Yeah, Florida hasn't, like, we've certain places have taken their own precautions and stuff, and no one's really gotten on anyone's nerves. I mean, if the local business asks you to put a mask on, put a mask on. That's it. And like, if they don't, they don't.
That's
Right.
fair.
It's all right. Whatever.
That's fair.
We'll just go in. And even with Disney
Sure.
Springs, like I went twice. Some of my friends were like, let's just go. And I was like, that's fine. But they made it super easy. It was just like, take your temperature and then you wear the mask, you go in. The masks, of course, are not fun, but it was just nice to just walk around Disney Springs. So it's worth the sacrifice.
Sure.
was.
Yeah.
So speaking of crazy, Jordan, something happened to you right before this whole pandemic when it was just talking. Did something new just happen to you right after the first of the year? Something big in your life happen by chance, or did you get married or something, or
What?
Jordan?
Was that to me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh no, I can't hear anything.
Oh man, that's so funny.
I was like, he's talking. I hope.
I thought he was so confused. Like, what are you talking about? Don't get married.
Just the smile slowly melted away.
Yeah.
No,
I feel
so maybe Scott, you can relay what you said because for some reason, I can't hear you over the.
Here, okay, he asked you if you had a monumental, amazing thing happen to you before the pandemic, a big milestone in your life.
I mean, there were a couple of good ones. I think the one he's referring to is I got married, which is amazing.
Okay,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Someone to quarantine with.
I know, exactly. She's hidden over there in the bedroom somewhere.
Still
Yeah, I got married.
want to
and
be
it was
with
pretty
you
crazy.
after all
What
that
was that?
time? She still wants to be with you after all that time stuck in quarantine?
Oh God.
Funny man.
It's
Yeah.
It's a honeymoon at home. I think
It
that's
is a
sweet.
honeymoon at home.
Well,
Like,
it's
oh,
actually
man.
it's
a lot of
kind of a
time
blessing
together.
in disguise for us because
Sure.
I joined the national tour of Wicked in January, and then we got married at the end of January.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. But we didn't end up getting to have a honeymoon because of that. So
Sure.
I rehearsed for 2 weeks. I came back and we got married on the 25th. And then I flew back that Monday and I finished up rehearsals and then just joined the tour. And I haven't, really gotten a chance to spend much time with her. And then the quarantine happened. And all of a sudden we've got this like massive, long, unexpected, weird honeymoon thing going on. So.
Well, did you hear? Apparently, Japan is offering to pay for half of your trip to Japan, if that's a thing. Yeah, apparently, like they're considering, like the Ministry of Tourism or whatever the equivalent is, they're considering fronting half of your cost.
That's
So
awesome.
if you are planning a honeymoon,
Okay.
Go to Japan.
Yeah.
I mean,
until Disney opens back up.
yeah, I mean, Julie spent a lot of time in Japan, so she'd probably be a good tour guide.
Sure.
I mean, why not? They have awesome merch in Japan. They have like the best.
Oh
merch.
my God, yes they do.
I've heard.
Anytime there's a guest who is from Japan, they always have the coolest Disney stuff.
You're like,
Coolest Disney stuff. And I'm like, why can we not have this?
we're starting to. I'm seeing some of it, like the headbands, with the
Sure.
signature headbands.
Those are cool,
now.
by the way. I like those.
Yeah. Oh, they're the
Oh,
new. It's like
yeah.
I found out Disney Springs waited 6 hours. It was a 6-hour wait for Disney Springs opening day, but it only took 3 hours to get into the world of Disney.
Sure.
And a 3-hour wait for the co-op, but it only took 2 to get.
Did you wait? You actually waited?
I live streamed the whole thing.
Oh, you're dedicated.
Why not? I'm there, like, I want to spend some money. I'm just like, here, Disney, take my money.
Yeah, just play. I gotta go.
She stayed up all night. She slept at McDonald's parking lot to do the opening.
Oh my God. The McDonald's on property that's not even open yet.
Yeah, oh, they have.
Is there not? That's so
No, they're
sad.
still under construction right now. That's what they had. They had been doing that during quarantine, at least the first few months, because I have to drive through it. They've been still slowly working on construction. They just recently stopped last month, but they were working on the Star Wars Hotel. They were working on the new McDonald's.
Mhm.
So they're doing what they could to try to keep things rolling.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see the chat. It's under comments, but some people are commenting there. I don't know if
No.
you can press
No.
the comments. Is there
Now I see them.
Oh, whoa.
Okay. There's comments. Kelsey is a former cast member from Disneyland. She said, "Oh, they can't see my chat." I said, "You just have to make sure it's and of course, Mr. Joe Flaherty. He is the one, the only.
Yeah.
Contacted all of you guys. I said, "Hey, you're
Mhm.
in our neighborhood. And he's great. He's one of the best people I met, and I knew him before he even came. And I would always live stream so his mom could see him perform. So that's always a big thing, especially if you're an international college program, child that your parent can't see you because they're a million miles away. So that's how I met.
You want to start asking how they all ended up, where they ended up at Disney?
Yeah,
starting with ladies first, maybe Nathalia?
Of course.
Nathalia,
yeah, okay. So it was my junior year of college. I auditioned for Disney, and I got accepted into the program. But at the beginning, I started doing attractions in Animal Kingdom.
Where?
So that,
Which one?
So Rivers of Light. So,
Sick. Yeah.
So, but what happened that that summer, the show wasn't ready. So there was a dance show. It was entertainment. It was really cute. So I worked there, and then a month later, I went to an audition, and I started working in entertainment for a full year. And then I went back to college. I graduated, and then after that, I came back after graduation. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right. How about the Jordan, the longest cast member, been here since 2015. So that's quite a long time.
Well, I think Blake, you got me beat out, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still with the company. I got 6 years, but man, it's a weird journey.
Oh, wow. Did you
All
want
right.
to flag since you're in the top spot there? It's like the Brady Bunch this way.
Yeah. Okay, so when I first started, I actually started in the college program. Oh God, back in 2014. Yeah, 2014, and I was doing custodial at the time at Typhoon Lagoon.
Nice.
And let me tell you, that is the easiest job ever. As long as everything was clean, they don't care what you're doing. So we just relaxed, we chilled. You had to stare at the water all the time, and 90-degree weather wasn't the best, but it was a lot of fun. And then after that, I extended my program and I did park reading at Hollywood Studios. And so then after Hollywood Studios, I did that. I auditioned a few times and got full-time entertainment, and then been there ever since, and went back and forth to part-time to full-time, but yep, been in entertainment ever since.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
that's your done the whole gamut, of course. How about you, Julian?
Well, mine was strange in its own weird way. Straight out of college, man, when you're a music major in college, you don't know what to do at all. So I'm a college programmer too, straight up. Worked in parking at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, heck yeah. What year?
2015.
Oh my God, we were literally working at the same.
Are you serious?
We were close. We probably
right? Yeah, I heard you say park reader at studios, and I was like, that's really close.
When did you start in 2015? Did you start August? So
right after maybe when
you just missed me.
Yeah.
There a lot.
Let me think. So I did parking, a lot of trams, which was wildly fun and dangerous. And then I left for a year, taught music, did a little bit of directing, and then the audition came for, what was it? It was for the Spirit of Aloha dinner show at the Poly. So that was my first foray into entertainment. I was supposed to be a seasonal, got upgraded when my predecessor left, and then I got put on a year-long contract.
And when was that, Julian? I'm sorry.
That was in, I want to say 2017, right around March, April.
I believe I seen you then. So.
You look super familiar. Because our the rotation of the black polos with us always switched on and off.
I'd be lying if I didn't say we did that show many, many times. So.
I wouldn't be surprised. You guys did work. I sweated through so many mics. It was disgusting. And then when my contract ended, right when I found out that it was about to end, I did a what do you call it? I did an audition for Characters and Parades.
Oh wow!
And then switched to that for the next year, and then I got essentially asked to move to New York right around this past June. So yeah, I left. Always entertained the thought of going back on occasion. But yeah.
So it seems like it was definitely a thumbs up for you on your experience. And
oh my goodness, it was fantastic. Like there are times where, like, you know, I think that later in life I would always want to go back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
option
yeah.
over there, right?
You love the company. Like I loved everyone that I worked with, and everyone in entertainment was super kind, super genuine. I don't think I ever met any of the dudes above 6 feet tall. I don't think we ever really interacted, because I'm like 5'4" and one of the only like men in that category. So I'd never really got a chance to do sets or do anything like that with either of you guys.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
I would have been out of that.
Oh, well.
I'm 6'1". You wouldn't want to talk to me. You'd be like,
Right.
he's too tall.
So,
Y'all are some giants.
Or no,
What?
Jordan still can't hear me. No.
no, now it's your turn. Of course, God. Yeah. So
I'm gonna leave and come back, Jen. Hopefully it'll fix it.
yeah, go do that and see if that'll help for sure. Yeah. Now, Jordan, your turn, and let us know about your wonderful journey.
Yeah, let's see. I had a very strange way of finding Disney World. I didn't find performing or musical theater until I was 26.
Wow.
Actually, up until that point, I had been an athlete. I was a swimmer most of my life. I swam in college, and then I swam a little bit post-college. I went to the Olympic trials in 2012, and like that was what I wanted to do with my life. And then when I did not make the Olympic team in 2012, I kind of had to rethink my priorities and figure out what other things I was good at, and what if I wanted to stick around and wait 4 more years for this pipe dream of the Olympics, or find something else. And so shortly after that, I finished school, and my last semester I did a production of Sound of Music. It was like part of the curriculum.
okay.
I had to do a musical, and I didn't want to do it. I was not into musical theater, but I got roped into it because I had to, and then I ended up falling in love with it. I thought it was so cool, and so as a result of that, I auditioned for a bunch of different things around the area, some regional theater stuff in California. And I said, okay, I want to do this thing for real. I love musical theater. How do I do this? And everybody said, you got to go to New York. That's where it's happening. But if you want to go to New York, I recommend getting your equity card before that. And I was like, great, equity card, smart.
Were you able to do that with Disney, I hope?
Yeah.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I auditioned for the Voices of Liberty in November of 2015 for the Candlelight Processional. And I ended up doing that contract, and that was it. I mean, that was all I was planning to do, was just go do my 2-month contract, get my equity card, and then go to New York.
Oh, wow.
And then I ended up getting hired on with the full-time Voices of Liberty group in the Rotunda. And I said, well, maybe I can hang around for a year and learn some other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I stuck around, and I did Voices of Liberty, and then I ended up learning the Hoop-Dee-Doo Review and the Dapper Dans and Beauty and the Beast and the Christmas Castle Show. And I got to do a lot of cool stuff that ended up keeping me there a lot longer than I planned on being there. So
That's the truth.
that's the short version.
Yeah.
The lovely Miss Erica in the chat right now saying hi to you guys. Kelly's in the chat. So I know you know these
Hi, Erica.
people.
I love Erica. Hi, Erica.
What's up, girl?
What's up? Oh, she's wonderful.
So Jordan, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yay! Woohoo!
So
Jordan, did you ever run into James Channing, by the way, doing
Me?
Beauty and the Beast? I think he was mainly Nemo, but he did a lot of Beauty and the Beast as well, I think.
The name doesn't
Might have
sound
been-
familiar.
Okay. I asked because like he somehow ended up with me at the Luau for a couple of gigs, and like you just look, you're like, you know,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. No,
Yeah.
I don't remember. The name doesn't sound familiar.
So before Jordan can't hear me again, I got to say this. My son, who is 22,
Oh,
was huge in music in high school and everything like that. And he's huge into music, but he's in the IT field now. when he seen that this is the stream Jen was doing and that I would be interviewing, and nothing against any of you, but my son is a huge Broadway musical fan. He was in theater in school, and all he says is, "Oh my God, Wicked." And so I have to say, my son Damon, to Jordan, a big shout out. My son, who never watches anything I do, because of Mr. Jordan, my son is probably actually watching now. So he loves all of you. But and then on the other hand of it, when my daughter seen it, and Nathalia, she actually found a quote that you wrote years ago on social media, and it goes like this. This is my daughter, who's 21 and goes to Michigan State University. She was in the Disney College program last year. You wrote, "Do your squats, eat your vegetables, wear red lipstick, and don't let boys be mean to you." My daughter loves that quote, Nathalia, that you said. So hey, if interviewing you guys makes me cool to my kids, then hey. So,
That's amazing. Very cool. Well, Wicked gets you in a lot of doors. I'll tell you that much. It is a
For
very
sure.
cool show. That's for sure.
so that had to be a cool experience, huh? I mean, it's just, I don't think they
Scott,
just
you
called you
left,
up and said,
and
"Hey,
now I
Jordan."
can't hear you at all.
Oh no.
No.
Keep changing people.
It's just crazy, Scott. Well, if you want to go out and come back in again, you can hear everybody. That's all you just thought.
I'm gonna leave,
Yeah.
run on the block,
Yeah,
and
it's
come
just
back.
Scott.
Okay. Okay. All right. I could throw another round table question. I would say favorite role at Disney or at Disney. So favorite role at Disney. Blake, go.
Oh man.
Oh man, it's such a tie for different reasons.
Okay.
It's so hard. Oh man, this is so hard. Actually, okay, so I am also friends with Darth Vader, and he is my favorite, like by far. Besides being a Star Wars fan, just I was able to do some of the shows, meet and greets. I opened Launch Bay, like that was just
That's amazing.
so amazing, and just the kids. Like there is nothing like a Star Wars fan. If a Star Wars fan comes in to meet and greet, you're just having a great time.
Right. They know their lore. They know their history. Their
Yeah,
love.
nothing beats that.
Yeah, they're pretty hardcore for sure. How about you, Miss Nathalia?
That's a really tough question because I loved my two friends very much. I feel like I love being friends with Elena because she's Hispanic and all those interactions were really meaningful. I was present when Elena met a bunch of Latina grandmothers back when she just came into the park for the first time. And it was always so moving to see Elena interact with them. They would always cry, so proud to be represented finally. So I love her, but I also love my friend Polka because I was able to experience Fantasmic because of her. So it's really hard for me to tell which one.
Hard to choose. Wow. Those are both amazing. How about you, Mr. Julian?
Well, I feel like, building off of what Jordan said about getting to New York the right way, the professional side would be performing at the Luau would be my favorite. But my favorite role, I don't know if, because it was really, really brief last year for the summer, I got to join the cast for at the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy. So we got to do those little shows. Like just it was the best group of people. Our choreographer was Eric Yao was just like the
dude. He is amazing.
He's incredible.
I love Eric. I run into him all the time.
I'm sure like you both have run into him like with Fant, right? I feel like he does.
Yeah.
Fantastic
He's over
a
at
lot.
studios a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big studios guy, big Star Wars guy too. But so just working with him, those days were always my favorite when I was at the Racing Academy.
Man, that because that did not last long either.
It did not last long, and we were hoping because it was so much fun. And I don't know if I'm like unlucky or lucky to have left right before it left. But that's got to be my favorite role and my favorite group of cast members that I worked with for sure.
It's like a lot of fun from your photos.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was so great.
Great time.
Of
And
course.
Erica Pell has a question for Jordan. Did you ever work with Olivia Pucci? She was Elphaba. Olivia Pucci.
Oh, I thought it said she was an elephant.
No.
Yeah, Wait, Erica, where are you?
He corrected it over here.
Oh, there it is, elephant.
I was so confused.
It's okay, Erica. If you're an elephant, you own that. Okay. Okay.
Because I just joined the tour in January, the name doesn't sound familiar to me. I haven't gotten to work with a ton of people. I literally joined the tour at the beginning of January, and then we were quarantined at the beginning of March. So I wasn't with the tour for that long. So hopefully I can get back pretty quick because I'm missing it for sure.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, man.
How about you, Mr. Scott? You want to throw out a question? I know we have the list.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Matter of time, but yes.
Can I repeat my comment to Nathalia? So did you guys tell her? Or?
Oh no, we didn't.
So Nathalia, so my kids never watch what I do or whatever. My son was thrilled because Jordan with Wicked. So my son's a huge theater. He's 22, senior in college. My daughter's 21, goes to Michigan State. She was looking to who we were interviewing, and she seen you, and she found on your social media a quote that you wrote many, many moons ago that you said, "Do your squats, eat your vegetables, wear red lipstick, and don't let boys be mean to you." And she loved that quote. So she did the Disney College program last year. So, and she's a nursing student at Michigan State University. So that's what you didn't get to hear. And when I got done saying it, and you're like, "I can't hear you," and I was like, "Oh." It was that all we needed was Julian to go dun dun dun, you know.
Oh, sorry,
So-
but wow, how long ago did I post that?
According to her, it was a long time ago. I don't know. It might have been back when you first started one of your social. I don't know. Maybe 6, 7 years ago. I don't know. So, but she found it and she wanted me to say it to you. So, but
Well, that's really funny. What's your daughter's name?
Amber is her name. So,
Okay.
and when she was in the college program, she met her best friend, one of her best friends, who lives in Puerto Rico. And she got to go there right before the pandemic and got to enjoy Puerto Rico and everything with her. And so I have nothing but positivity. It turned her from a shy girl who didn't know what she wanted to do in life. The Disney College program brought her out and made her strong and strong-willed and everything. And it was fantastic. So, and I see a lot of it, in you guys. So it's awesome.
That's amazing.
But
Yeah.
Are shining examples of obviously very successful, college program and audition candidates. A lot of the subscribers are always, some are younger, definitely, and they're looking forward to being part of the company, and they love any kind of advice or audition advice or things that they can do now in order to help them, get a role in the company or, do the college program. I mean, it's only have to at least a semester of college, and it depends on what timing you want to do it in the middle of your college career. Do you want to do it after? Come back maybe a year later, like if you have any good advice for like your teenagers, usually that's who they love to ask these questions because this is definitely something.
Sure.
real quick before you get into it, I didn't get to hear because I stepped out. Jordan, did you do the college program then or no?
I never did. I was actually telling these guys that I didn't find performing really until I was in my late 20s.
And I was going to ask you about your swimming career, but you went into all that. So, but
yeah.
I
So
mean,
I didn't find it until 26, and and then I think I started performing with Disney at 27. So I was very, very late to the game.
it seems like it's worked pretty well for you, though.
It's going well now.
So now, anyone? So I guess start with Blake. Blake, I got one question. What coming out of the pandemic? What would you like your goals to be in the next year or so, like that?
Coming out of the pandemic, I've always toyed with the idea of doing a Japan contract.
Oh wow!
I think I might eventually do the auditions and go do a Japan contract. I was close to doing a cruise contract, but that life was not for me. It was I anyone that does a cruise, like I got the highest regards for them because that's just something I cannot do, and it's a whole different lifestyle. So, and I've always wanted to visit Japan, so I think out of the pandemic, I would definitely love to, see myself in the future going over to Japan. I've just heard so many great things about those parks. I'm like, oh man, I really got to get over there.
That's awesome. But you, Mr. Julian, was going around the clock. What do you want to accomplish?
Yeah, sure. Well, let me think. So, the main goal obviously is getting back to the city. If we're talking just logistic goals, but the main thing now would just be once auditions open back up again in person. I know my agent has been an absolute angel in sending me things out the wazoo to self-tape for. But the main thing I think would be getting more on the writing circuit is what I've been doing a lot of during the quarantine. So I have a couple of projects. I write primarily music and vocal stuff. So compiling that, polishing that up, and putting that out a little more.
Well, maybe we should have you to reach out to Miss Erica Apple and
hey, man,
Ben Crane, and the three of you could work on something together.
If they're looking to sing something, I'm happy to.
Erica and Ben just did a concert this past weekend on Jen's channel. It's
that's incredible.
That would be pretty cool if you guys could get together.
Yeah, no, like right before the wedding, or right before the pandemic hit, like I helped my buddy with like a couple of things for his wedding, a little cute Disney medley for that, like little projects that I want to keep expanding.
Awesome.
What kind of stuff do you write, Julian?
Well, so depending on what it's for, a lot of my background is in like choral and like acapella, that kind of thing. But then for my vocal students, I arrange little 16-bar vocal cuts. I'm toying around. I'm outlining a Zac Brown Band musical.
Oh wow!
That's the big project in the works, like a Margaritaville kind of thing.
Cool.
But a lot of that, I write R&B for myself, but a lot of musical theater, contempt stuff outside of that.
Did you ever sing any barbershop? You said you did acapella and stuff like that.
I sang barbershop. My voice doesn't blend well. I'm sad to say.
Okay.
But I write a lot for barbershop too.
Cool.
So if you know people, I'd be happy to write for you guys.
Sweet.
Yeah,
for
good. Sure.
Yeah.
And the lovely, beautiful Nathalia, what is your goals coming ahead?
Well, so I went to college for musical theater, and I lived in the United States for 7 years. But for personal reasons, I came back to Colombia back in December. And then I went to Bogota, which is the capital of Colombia. I got myself a manager, and I started doing auditions for like Fox Latin America and Netflix and all that stuff. So I feel like, well, everything kind of stopped because of the pandemic. I had my first exciting Netflix callback, so to act in Spanish and all that. And then the pandemic happened, and I was like, oh no. So my goal after this is all over is to just keep on auditioning, putting myself out there, and yeah.
So now, are you auditioning for like movie roles or musician roles or what?
Singing, what type of roles? Yeah.
So movie roles and then Netflix series in Spanish. I've never done any work in Spanish, like acting or anything. So I'm excited to experience and do that. But it's interesting because for the role that I was called back, it's a role that like kind of involves singing, acting, and dancing. So like that would be the dream if I got to do that. So, yeah.
And that's fantastic. That's awesome. Mr. Jordan, I kind of think I know what your goals are, but what are your goals?
Man, 2020 has been a big year for me. Getting married and joining the tour, and then this pandemic thing. And Julie and I just moved from Washington Heights to the Upper West Side, and so it's just been like a year of goals. So I'm over goals for a little while. I'm so exhausted. I feel like I've just been grinding and grinding.
Now, will you return to the tour of Wicked, or?
Yeah. So as of now, I mean, they don't announce this, but the Wicked tour is booked out till 2028.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're good for a long time. So yeah, I'd like to continue with Wicked as long as I can, and hopefully kind of scratch and climb up the ladder to be the Fierro and not the backup Fierro. So that'd be pretty cool.
So I got a question about theater. When you're on tour and stuff like that, and a lot of you have talked about contracts and everything, but like in like a touring theater, do you just sign a contract, or is it open-ended when you want to leave, or how does that work? I mean, is it?
Well, it depends on the type of contract that it is. So Wicked and Hamilton and some of the really big tours are under what are called production contracts, which are the tier 1 level equity contracts. And they are special in that there's a lot more protection with them. The money is great. And you start off with just a 6-month rider. That's how you start off. And it's basically just sort of kind of a tester period for you.
I understand.
And after that 6 months, then you can kind of stick around for indefinitely, basically, as long as you don't kill anybody or fall off the stage or anything like that. Like, you can basically stay with the tour until it closes. So there's a couple of guys that have been on the tour for over 10 years. And they don't have houses anymore. They just live on tour. So you can
being newly married, how, I'm sure you and Julie, I don't want to pry too much, but
go for it.
I mean, like the traveling thing, is she up for it, or does she stay there?
She's definitely up for it. Both the two of us are incredibly adventurous, so we love going to different places and experiencing different cultures. And when we were in Baltimore, she came out and we stayed at this really cool old Airbnb that was called the 1840s Carrollton Inn, and it was like this old estate back in the day. And we stayed there for the weekend on my birthday, in between shows and that sort of thing. So we make it work. We definitely make it work.
So it's kind of awesome, since Jen has asked me over the past couple months to join her with interviewing and actually investigating stuff to ask you guys, and actually fast forwarding, seeing how you guys progressed right now is awesome. And the best part about it in mine is to be able to follow you guys to see where you all end up in the future. And it's so amazing because all of you guys have come together at one point at Disney, and yet you're using it to reach out to the sky's the limit for whatever you want to do. And with that being said, I know your wife's not doing the interview, but I do have to say, is she excited at all for the Friends reunion?
Julie, come here. Oh, wow, that's funny. She's obsessed with Friends. Absolutely.
Well, that's why I gotta ask.
Hold on, I'm gonna scoot over. Here she is.
Hello, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
What's up?
How's it
So,
going?
Good. So, Julie, investigating for questions and stuff. I didn't know if you were going to do the interview or not or whatever. So I just asked Jordan one simple question. And are you excited for the Friends reunion?
Oh, I'm very excited for the Friends reunion. He's only seen the show once, but I've seen every episode probably 100 times.
So when I do notes and I go through and try to figure out questions and all that, I literally have Friends written down under your name 11 times. So, I mean, so you definitely like Friends. So,
big fan, yeah.
And mermaids, that was my next one, but I see Jordan is wearing a shirt that I have a thing for mermaids. So those were the two things. I literally have Friends and mermaids written on my paper so many times for you. So, but that was
Julie has a matching shirt that says "I've got a thing for colonial men," and that was when I was singing in the Voices of Liberty. So we have matching.
I think that's adorable. That sounds custom. That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
And
fun.
we have all of their wonderful Instagram accounts in the description box below if you would like to follow everyone, including Julie. She's in there as well. So make sure you follow these wonderful folks, guys.
See a lot of my dog.
Yeah.
So Jordan said it's been fantastic since you got married, and you're doing the test of time right now with the pandemic, getting married, and bam, locked together.
Yeah, it's a good thing we like each other.
Blake said earlier, hats off to you, that it's a miracle that you guys haven't killed each other yet. I might have misquoted him, but I think that's roughly what Blake said.
Yeah.
So now, not to get off topic, but have any of the five of you, now that Julie's here, have any of the five of you ever worked together over the past 6 or 7 that you know of?
Yeah, we work together, haven't we?
To who?
I think.
Wait, who's
somebody.
Who's we?
Nathalia?
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 I can't really see you that well.
I feel like yeah, I think that we've worked together.
Nathalia is
Maybe I had a different color hair.
Nathalia is friends with can I say who you're friends with,
Yeah.
Nathalia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pocahontas, am I right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And Elena.
And Elena.
Maybe fantastic.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe
That's
somewhere.
true.
I think we worked together.
Yeah. Who were you friends with?
A lot of friends.
Cindy?
Maybe one of my blonde friends. I think we worked together.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, I did think that I saw a picture of two friends that really closely resembled the two of you standing next to each other at one point in time. But so guys might have to go through old pictures of Disney and see if but I'm pretty sure I did see that. So
That was really funny.
it makes it very difficult to walk around this obstacle course to get to this point. So, but I didn't know if Jordan, I didn't know if you had ever crossed paths with Blake because you guys have been for so long.
I feel like they would be the most likely.
It's like one of those weird things is like we'll see each other, like we'll see each other's faces. We might not know each other's names, but like oh, that person looks familiar. I've definitely seen them before. Like it's so like just back and forth when you're at work and just like in and out, in and out.
I think too, like backstage, like if you're coming off either like a set or a show, you're just coming back and you're like sweating your bum off, and you're like in half nap mode for a good bit.
I have definitely seen Blake before. I messaged him before we got into this little talk, and I was like, "Hi, I know."
Yeah, it's been a long time. I think you might have met me before, like on set before, but it's been a while.
Me?
It's been a very long time.
Yeah,
I was going to say what's challenging is that the character world and the stage show, the equity world is very separate a lot of times.
Right.
So like Julie and I never got to work together in all of the time that we were at Disney World, not once.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Which is unfortunate because she did character performing and I was in the Dapper Dans or Voice of Liberty or whatever. But I will say there was one day where she was doing the trolley show and I was a Dapper Dan. It was the only time that we've both been on like the same set at the same time, and we ended up like getting some really cool pictures together as a trolley girl.
I've seen a picture of two that look just like you guys with their arms arm in arm, and someone I think the person sitting next to you, Jordan, said a caption like it was pretty cool to walk down Main Street together. So I did see that today. So
yeah.
So I got one more quick question, Jordan. What is the big difference? And I understand it's two totally different things, but compare it between walking off stage of like Wicked or walking off stage at Disney.
Yeah.
What is? I mean.
Oh gosh. I guess maybe Disney feels more like a family. It feels less like the stakes are lower. I don't know if that sounds bad, but I feel like
less pressure, maybe.
Yeah, there's less pressure to be perfect. When I learned the Dapper Dans, our music director said, "Be prepared to make mistakes out there. The show is just so hard and it's so hot out there, and people are constantly moving. The variables are always changing." like you're gonna make mistakes out there,
Mhm.
and you just need to relax and have a good time with it. Whereas Wicked, it's like you don't make mistakes. Like it's either perfect or you don't make it into the show. So
here, although you know,
yeah.
it's the same for Disney and Broadway.
Yeah, so I guess the stakes it feels lower, but I take pride in the shows that I do at Disney World anyway. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'd say that's a difference.
Yes, there's a few questions on here. They're getting antsy on the audience here.
Let's do it.
What was your favorite Disney song to sing? And I know Kelsey was asking if you were going to sing her favorite song. She's asked it 3 times. I was like, I have Kelsey, girl, but we'll have to, we'll have to work it in. So I know one of the questions is, what's your favorite Disney song to perform and why? If you're a singer, if you're a musical, if you're a singer. And then there was another question, and now I can't find it. But I know she kept asking it. But put it back down to Kelsey. So whoever's first question first, since I know you're dying to know. So if you are a singer, musical performer, what is your favorite Disney song to perform and why?
Did any of you ever?
Jordan, the only singer.
No. Like you go first, because my answer is weird. Go ahead. You first, man.
When You Wish Upon a Star. Come on, it's just
cheeseball.
so. I mean, it's just so romantic.
I think that's adorable.
Cheese. You're saying that
you know,
next to you, cheese.
I know. But we used to sing it at the Voices of Liberty, and without a doubt, it would start with this ooh section, and the audience wouldn't know what the song is. And then as soon as we started singing the chorus, everyone would go, oh, and then lean in together and just like bask in the When You Wish Upon a Star. It was just so magical, and it just makes me, think of Disney no matter what. I love that song.
Excellent answer.
Mm-hmm. I guess. Well, the reason my answer is weird because I just did a self tape for Once on This Island. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the show too much. I sang Poor Unfortunate Souls for Once on This Island, and one of the characters is super like that's the type. And then I don't know, Disney songs in general. I feel like every brown boy that sings Disney songs has "Proud of Your Boy" in their book, so that's part of the bag. I'm sure like every casting director in New York and Florida has heard "Proud of Your Boy" a billion times.
For sure.
Yeah. It's a fun song to sing.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Jen, is it okay if I ask the question of?
Go ahead.
We started this with a couple cast members a couple interviews ago.
Yeah, we just
Disney magic moments. So it's a big thing. A lot of cast members get to do them, to perform. Have any of you got one that stands out that you got to do a magic moment for Make a Wish or just somebody special? Have you ever got to do that? And can you tell that story of what happened, or starting with the ladies first?
Right.
Or
your favorite magical moment you're able to provide to a guest or that happened to you,
Julie has the absolute best stories. I mean, she's been with the company for, 11 years or something like that?
11 years, yeah.
I mean,
it's
insane. She's done everything. She's performed in Tokyo.
So now I know where all my money goes.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's like she just has all of these cool, my favorite one is one of my favorite ones is the Friends with Ariel, Make-A-Wish one.
I don't really know what all I
can you say that?
Talk about. But the Make-A-Wish stuff is really cool, and it's, it's a cool thing that Disney does, and getting to be a part of that, and, the wish that the kids make, it's really cool. And, you get to visit a lot of places to see the kids, and, I don't know really how much detail I can go on, but
no, I understand. The only reason why I bring it up is my daughter, when she did the Disney College program, she worked at a Restaurantosaurus, and she thought it was going to be horrible because she was stuck in the back and she thought it was going to be, and it was the best thing she thinks that she ever got to do in her life. And because she picked up everybody's shift and she worked sometimes 7 days a week, sometimes double shifts. Her manager, her last week of the college program, told her that there was a little kid who wanted to see Donald Duck in Dino Land, and they were done. And the little boy was having a meltdown, and he was special needs, and this whole family was there. And the manager came and approached my daughter and said, "Would you like to give a gift of free meal and a special guest to come sing?" So my daughter got to come out, ask the family and everything like that, and then presented Donald Duck to come and spend time, 10, 15 minutes with the little boy. And she said that made every dish she cleaned, every floor she mopped, every garbage can she sprayed out worth everything in the world. And that's why I started asking the Disney Entertainment when they come on, just to share a story, because it's enlightening during the sad times. And so I know you can't say much, Julie, but that's all. Just that's why I bring it up. So I mean, Julie, I don't want to pry anymore, but does anybody else have any stories like
one
that?
of my favorite ones that I've heard of with Disney characters. Back in the day, they used to let Cinderella pick a little kid, a little girl, to watch the fireworks with, watch wishes with.
Back when it was wishes.
Back when it was wishes.
R.I.P.
So Cinderella would go and find a little girl dressed as Cinderella and literally sit there with her and watch the fireworks. I mean, that is just so cool. Disney doesn't get to do that kind of stuff anymore because it seems like the characters would just get mobbed if they were out there.
Yeah, sure.
100%.
But I mean, it was so magical to see that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of times when it comes to the magical moments, a lot of people don't realize this, but magical moments are really so spontaneous. It is the 9 to 5 cast members. We all coordinate. We all figure that out. It's not the higher ups. It's not any of them. It's literally the spur of the moment when magical moments happen. And sometimes guests think they're like a requirement. They're not. They just happen. They're the most random thing. And they're so special, and that's why they're magical moments. And that's a lot of times, a lot of people can forget that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're completely impressed.
Yeah.
I have a little story to share. This was when I was just like super greeting in the park as myself. I just loved going out there and helping all those guests who only spoke Spanish, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were at one time. I went to Magic Kingdom, and there was this family, and they were super lost and with the maps, and they're just so confused.
Aww.
And I came over, and I was like, "Hey guys, can I help you with anything?" And they had no idea about fast passes or my Disney Experience app. So I just helped them and told them, like, you should go here and here and here and here, and here's how you work this app, and this is what fast passes are, and just kind of like turn their day around. And I love doing that kind of magic when I was super greeting. That was
awesome.
Fun.
That's fantastic.
I think one of the best example that I can think of, and these are completely improvised, right? We all have had those things happen. I remembered once it was at Animal Kingdom, and we all know the rules, like with the rain and whatnot, right? Like if it's thunder and lightning, it's like a no-go or something like that. I don't quite remember, but I was with I was hanging out with the chipmunks that day, and it was in Dino Land, and we weren't able to go out to do our sets. And then we were like talking about how upset everyone was, all this crazy nonsense because the rain was on and off. It was during the summer in Florida. And instead of doing sets, we went out and just messed around in the in Dinorama.
Oh, inside. Okay.
As in we were playing carnival games for a good 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So just getting to follow through, kids were wanting to I don't know, take us on rides, play play games with the boys, getting to little things like that because they don't expect that kind of thing. And it was a half hour just of that in the rain, because no one was expecting anything, and it was like a line's worth, a whole queue's worth of folks that were expecting to get to have their autograph book signed or whatnot, and they got something I would argue better, but rare.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's
100%.
that was a hilarious one that I could think of. Just
it's just memories. That's all. It's special. It's positivity. It's everything. Yeah. So Blake, real quick, Joe Flaherty said, "Do you have a favorite Disney workout song, Blake?"
Oh, Disney. Oh man, I don't listen to Disney songs when I come to work. I listen to great 80s songs, but if I had to pick my favorite song from Disney in general, I think it would have to be from the Hercules movie. I'm gonna blank on the poor name, but it's when it's Herc's talking to Zeus.
The but the second time.
It's the first song Hercules sings in the film.
Yeah.
Go the distance.
Yeah, Go the Distance. That that always got me emotionally, even before anything, even as a kid. And that movie's so underrated. The soundtrack is so good.
That and Hunchback and Hercules, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Criminally underrated.
Amazing too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Julie and Jordan, were there any dances to any Disney songs at your wedding?
Right.
No.
No, I sang a song to her, but we didn't dance to us. Well, we sort of did. I guess we did in the middle in the bridge. So I sang "So This Is Love" to her for obvious reasons.
Awesome.
Hey, Jordan, can I marry you? Because you're just making yourself the perfect husband right now. What's going on?
Yeah. It was pretty special. It was very.
Oh God.
What was that?
Jason Non, he's one of our good friends who go to Hana. He says, Blake reminds me of the cop from Reno 911.
You're welcome.
Jason.
I think more Starsky and Hutch.
Quarantine, man.
Right. This is like everybody's pandemic look. It's the stuff we can't do while we're.
I have a hat on because my hair is so gross.
I was about to say, but don't be fooled. I have the shorts too.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing I think I've seen even this era. Her hair is blue, I dyed my hair purple. We're trying to do the non-Disney look things that we possibly can during pain. Put nails on because I'm in food and beverage. I can't have them on.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
So, what have you guys done during the pandemic to just kind of, stay in shape or, because you never know. I think now that we have more dates announced as of yesterday or Wednesday. So what do you guys for you guys that still work at Disney or, Broadway, what have you been doing to make sure that you're taking care of your instrument, whether it be your voice or your dance or your, your acting? What have you guys been
What have you been doing to keep your sanity, folks?
Well, we moved.
Man.
So there's that.
Big. That's a big deal. Where in the Heights were y'all? 125?
We were on 161st between Broadway and Amsterdam.
So almost near Dykeman. Close, right?
Where's that?
That's like Columbia, New York.
Oh yeah.
Way up there. Near the Bronx.
The medical Columbia University is 168, right?
Yes. I want to say.
So we were a little bit lower than that. But
okay.
We decided that we wanted to move down to the Upper West Side, and what better time to do that than during a pandemic?
There's no traffic when you're transporting your stuff.
How did you guys ever rent a truck? And how did you, was it just in the middle of the night smuggling it through? Or, what did you guys, how?
We found a parking spot. We actually found a parking spot right in front of our building, believe it or not.
Wow.
I
That's
think
incredible.
Most of New York is evacuated, like Julian, everybody has left, so there are less cars, there's less
they
traffic.
all went to Connecticut, my home.
Yeah.
Or Florida.
We all went to Connecticut. My parents are mad. New Yorkers out of here. We don't need the COVID from them.
Yeah. Yeah, so, the Upper West Side has kind of always been our dream. to be here in this area. It's so beautiful. You're right next to the park. We're half a block away from Central Park, which is actually where I proposed to Julie on the Bow Bridge. So we can almost see the Bow Bridge from where we live now, which is very cool.
You're like really close in, like Central Park West, rather than like on Broadway-ish.
Yeah, we're right in between Columbus and Central Park West.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but now since you brought it up that you proposed there, let's hear the story.
Now we're here to tell the story.
Well, do you want to tell it? I can tell it. I'll tell it.
You can tell it.
I'll tell it. Okay. So
This is going to make Blake madder. Just saying, just so you know, Jordan. This is going to upset Blake more because
more upset he gets, the bigger his mustache is going to grow.
More of the ladies are going to be like, oh. So go on. I won't interrupt no more.
No, look, I want to marry Jordan at this point.
This actually kind of ties into the musical theater performing world as well. When I first auditioned for Wicked, I did not get it. And I was destroyed. And Julie happened to be here in the city with me. We were pretty early on in our 4 months in our relationship. And I had never been to Central Park, and I had just found out that I didn't get Wicked, and I was just like, this is awful. I hate life. And she said, well, let's go for a walk through Central Park. You've never been there, and it'll turn you around. And so we started walking through Central Park, and within a matter of 2 hours, I had completely forgotten about Wicked, and I had forgotten about the fact that I missed out on this dream opportunity. And we got to this bridge, which was the Bow Bridge, and it's this old Parisian romantic white bridge, which overlooks basically where we live now, but this amazing view of Central Park and New York City. And we took a picture there, and I knew right then and there, I was like, I'm going to propose to Julie right here. This is where it's going to happen for sure. And so almost a year later or so, right? Mm-hmm. A year later. I actually had to scout the spot out because it's very popular. It's like proposing in front of the castle, you know?
Yeah.
So I had to scout it out. So I went there every Sunday morning to figure out what time was the best time to go so there would be no people there. Turns out the best time to go is 9:30 a.m.
Wow.
So I was like,
you're not wrong.
How am I going to get her out there at 9:30 a.m.? You know, and I knew that she was going to want to look nice in engagement pictures. So I made up some cock and bull story about like, hey, let's go have a nice brunch, a Sunday morning brunch, and we'll get all dressed up to the nines and go out and do that. And she thought it was weird, but she went along with it anyway. And we get to Central Park, and it's, for anybody that's been in Central Park, you can get lost very easily. There are a lot of
It is
paths.
Terrifying if you're not on it.
Especially when you get to like what's called the Ramble.
Yep.
It's very woodsy and twisty and turny and very Snow Whitey. And so I knew exactly where I was going. And she was like, this is very strange that he knows exactly his way through the park, and we haven't even been here very many times. And fortunately, when I got there, no one was there. And I don't remember anything that I said, but I know that she said yes. So,
Did you suspect it? Did you suspect it at all, Julie?
Not really. Because I was visiting. He was living here at the time, and I was coming to visit him for his birthday. And I really didn't think so because we talked about getting engaged someday, but he always said it wouldn't be for a really long time. So I just stopped. I didn't even get my nails painted for the trip.
The travesty, Jordan.
But then when he wanted me to get up at 8 a.m. and kept saying, you can put your makeup on here and like we could get dressed up, and I was like, that's a weird thing to say for an 8 a.m. stroll.
Did y'all actually get brunch later that day? Or did y'all just go right back to okay.
We actually went to a place called Alice's Teacup, which is literally right across the street from our building. So it's pretty cool.
It was really good. But yeah, he
That's
did
a really nice area.
I really didn't think it was going to happen.
No.
But
That's awesome.
She said even when I pulled out the box, she still was like, oh, maybe it's like a nice pair of earrings or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, what is he doing down on his feet? Like, why is he...
So
here's the tennis bracelet.
Yeah, right. You can stand up and give that.
Yeah. So Nathalia, what have you been doing to keep your sanity during this pandemic?
Well, I came up with a little list of like things to do during COVID-19, and it's just like meditating, taking acting classes, and singing, playing the piano, dancing, and working out. I was really good at that, like for 2 weeks, like every single day with my boyfriend. But honestly, I haven't been working out as much as I should. But yeah, mostly that. I'm also helping my parents. They have a company and they have no idea about like Instagram and Facebook. So I am managing their social media marketing.
That's
So
awesome.
that's fun.
So there's another title for you, social media manager. So there you go.
Yeah, perfect. How about Julian and Blake?
Uh,
Not lose your
Blake, you go first.
There I go. Okay, well, hang out with my dog a lot. Been jumping to my buddy's garage gym back and forth and doing that during quarantine. Growing my hair out. Lots of Netflix, lots of movies. I think I've finished so many TV shows, and on Disney Plus, I'm caught up. On what?
upload on Amazon Prime on Prime. Upload.
No, I don't have it. I don't have Amazon.
I heard good things about that show.
Oh,
It's supposed to be really, really good.
Look, when the new Clone Wars season 7 came out, that was it for me. I was watching like every Friday. I was like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready. Let's go. So that actually the most random things kept happening. So I got offered to work on like a featured festival film, so I'm working on that now to perform in that. So I don't know, the pandemic's just been weird. But I mean, like with Florida and everything, with people just like opening everything up, just the most random things have been happening.
It's crazy. Like now we're just like every park's opening now. SeaWorld.
I know, yeah.
Gardens. We're
There's a
going
huge
a
wave.
lot later, so that's good.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
so Julian, what have you been doing?
Well, I mean, the same thing. Writing. I'm trying to gather a team of writers to like have. I'm sure that a bunch of you are familiar with like musicnotes.com, like for sheet music. I'm trying to launch a team to like our answer to that. Let me think. Building a voice over reel. And then the big thing, sadly, the girlfriend and I aren't able to quarantine together. So we we put together a season of Virtual Survivor that we're gearing up to get a bunch of our friends to compete in.
Wow.
All group me, Zoom, socially responsible. So that'll be fun. And then since I don't have a friend's gym and I'm cheap with equipment, I've been doing a lot of Pilates. A lot of Pilates, a lot of survivor planning, and a lot of writing.
That's me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Perfect.
doing it different and depends on what you can do where you live.
Exactly.
I was
I'm
locked
stuck in
up.
the suburbs now.
I was locked up for 4 weeks, and then I got the phone call that I had to go back to work. So it was the most anxiety that I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I never have been. I have a pretty stressful job in the logistics field. I'm an electrician in Michigan, and controls are my specialty. So loading docks, conveyors, all that, which everybody uses and everybody needs it for food, for manufacturing, whatever. So anytime I went anywhere, I would look at everyone and say 10 feet away from me or I'm leaving. And it was the most stressful thing I've ever done the last 4 weeks. And I don't know how the healthcare, my daughter is a CNA in Lansing. First time I got to see her was this past weekend for 2 months because everyone at the nursing home she works at tested negative and every employee tested negative. So she was able to come home. But I don't know. I'm Switzerland. Don't say anything about the people that say it's all malarkey. And I don't say anything about the people that say, all I say is I go by numbers. And so I hope it goes back, and I hope I'll be able to somehow see a recording of Jordan as a lead in Wicked, and I'll be in Florida, and I'll get to see other friends that are on this stream right now that I won't go any further with.
Amazing.
And
well, Wicked is coming through Florida.
Okay.
January through March-ish. assuming that everything is back to
South
back to
Florida or
regular.
Central?
Jordan, I promise you, every performer will be there.
That is true.
Everyone will be there.
So yeah, we'll be in Tampa, Miami, Orlando, and I think West Palm.
Okay,
Okay.
so Dr. Phillips Center, is that where you guys usually do it, right? Dr. Phillips Center? Is that where it is? Or is it the Walt?
Most likely Dr.
Oh,
Phillips,
the
I feel like.
Dr. Phillips Center. Yeah,
Yeah, probably Dr. Phillips.
Yep, that'd be great. Because the last time it came around, I missed it. So I'm like, definitely got to get a jump on that. You know,
This is the time.
it's actually my honey's, Rob's favorite musical is Wicked. Like,
No way.
it is. I mean, that and then number 2 is like Phantom of the Opera. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
come on now. You know,
It's classic.
And it just so happens I'm supposed to be there. I'm looking at it right now when it's in Orlando. So I might have to
buy the tickets now.
I might have to buy the tickets now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So,
And
no, that's awesome.
I think we'll be back to normal by then. I mean, not normal necessarily, but back performing at that point.
I honestly feel in 3 weeks that most of the United States is like, I will deal with my chances, and I think we're going back to normal. I think everybody, I swear to you.
Yeah, the frustration is starting to get high enough
Florida's
for
already
sure.
there.
Yeah.
Florida's already there. Everyone's out.
Yeah.
I-4 is bad again. That's why you know.
Is it really?
That's
We're
true.
getting there.
Oh,
We're getting there.
So here's another question for you all. Restaurants. Now, Blake, I don't know, you're in Florida and restaurants are just open. So have you been to a restaurant, and when do you think you'll ever go back to a restaurant? All of you guys.
Oh, I already went.
As soon as it's open again.
I already went, man. The minute everything was like open to 25%, my one friend was like, "Hey, you want to go to Twin Peaks?" I was like, "Yeah, fine. I don't care. I want to go. Something to do. I need to do something."
Yeah.
No,
but
it's open.
once Disney restaurants open back up, especially Epcot, I'm hitting all of it. All of Epcot.
Yeah.
I love Epcot restaurants.
So now Julian and Jordan being in you're in New York or you're in Washington, Jordan?
Julian?
Julian,
I'm in
you're-
Washington D.C.
Yeah. I'm down in DC. I'm trying to go back to New York. I don't know if you guys know about Empanada Mama.
I do not.
Down in Hell's Kitchen. It is an empanada place on like 48th and Amsterdam, I want to say. They do Postmates delivery. It's like $3 per empanada, and it is the best. Like that like when I was moving out of my place and I was helping my girlfriend move out of her place, that was my go-to like ordering thing. There and like Jacob's Pickles. I don't know if y'all are like, it's on like 80.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a little Asian noodle shop that's like right next to it. That's like the same owner. So those would be the two. That and Ale House.
Miller's Ale
As
House.
soon as I'm able to go back to Ale House, I'm craving something awful.
Jordan and Julie, what do you? The one
We
place
obviously
you
have not gone to any restaurants.
no.
New York is locked down.
Yeah.
Well, when it's open and when you feel safe, or put it this way, as it is right now, do you see yourself going anytime soon if they decide to open them? And if they do, what are you dying to have?
I don't know. I mean, oh gosh.
We eat at home a lot.
We cook at home a lot.
A
So
lot.
we
What do y'all
don't
make?
go to restaurants.
Well, we've got chicken in the Instant Pot right now.
We're big instant pot fans.
It's cooking up. Just simple barbecue chicken.
It's really good. But we like pizza in New York.
Pizza in New York is always great.
It's a requirement for sure.
Gosh,
Can't go
yeah.
wrong there. I don't know.
Especially because we just moved into our new apartment. It's like we just want to be here and bask in the Upper West Sideness.
But yeah, we need to try a lot of the restaurants in the area.
If y'all need suggestions, I got your back.
Okay.
For sure.
Miss Nathalia, are you craving anything like food-wise? What are you most looking forward to go out and eat?
Yeah, there's a lot of cooking happening here in my house, so I don't really miss eating out that much. There is this place that sells crepes, and it's really good, so I can't wait to go there, but yeah.
Now might be the time to definitely ask everybody's favorite Disney snack, because I know we always ask that one, favorite Disney snack that you can find on property. It doesn't have to be a Mickey ice cream bar. It can be any snack anywhere on property. That's always, it gives you more choices. What is your favorite Disney snack?
Anyone?
Nathalia.
Nathalia?
Have you guys had those pretzels that they sell in front of like Rock and Roller Coaster that have like cheese inside of them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
They are my favorite. Yeah.
They phase them in and out randomly, and it's wildly upsetting when they phase them out.
Yep. You have a good snack, and then it's gone the next day.
Yeah.
How about
Blake,
y'all?
do you have a favorite go-to snack or anything?
Man. I mean, besides the popcorn smelling amazing all the time I pass it, maybe a Mickey bar, but like not like the traditional Mickey bar, like the soft one, like with the vanilla ice cream in the middle. Like, it looks like a sandwich, the Mickey sandwich. That one's really good.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm partial to the Mickey Premium. It's really good, but this isn't a Disney snack. But I am obsessed with the Ooey Gooey toffee cake at Liberty Tree Tavern in Magic Kingdom.
I'll agree.
Had it. Need to have it.
That's a good one.
If you go to the Liberty Tree Tavern, that dessert will blow your mind.
That sounds awesome.
It will.
It
It will blow your mind.
The congaloosh too, the dessert at Jungle Canteen. That's super good.
Really?
They have a congaloosh dessert, not the beer,
Okay.
but the dessert. It's at like banana. It's in chocolate. It's actually amazing. So yeah,
I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
If it means anything, I got home late and I've had the salad sitting here
I think
for.
that's phenomenal.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah, I've got a
so-
little bowl of apples.
That's a
here.
great idea.
Yeah,
as Rob is eating. My honey's a nurse, so he is also in healthcare. He's been working a lot. Yeah. So sometimes you hear him eating. Last week, somebody was eating soup, and somebody's like, "I hear somebody eating soup." I'm like,
The other question that we ask everyone: favorite ride.
yes. Favorite Disney ride.
Nathalia, favorite Disney ride.
Ooh, that's really hard. I don't know. Let me think. I love the Frozen ride in Epcot. That's a good one. It's really cute.
Yeah.
I like that one.
It's a classic.
Blake or Julian? Julian?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You want to go?
Let's
You want to
go.
go? All right, ready?
This is not gonna work well.
We're gonna figure this out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, shoot. Okay.
All right, deal.
All right. 1, 2, 3, shoot. All
Do it again.
That was pretty close, actually.
right. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Ah!
Oh, all right. That's the first ever rock, paper, scissors
That
on
was
Gen
wildly
X.
successful. That
Who
shouldn't have gone. That shouldn't have gone that well.
So real
So-
quick, I'm sorry, Julian. I don't mean to cut you off,
You're
but this is the first time ever my son has said something, and I owe it all to Jordan. So, Jordan,
Oh.
thank you. So, my son Damon McLean, who's in the chat. So, Jordan, because he's a friend of Wicked and everything like that. So,
I think you
How's
owe
it
him a
going,
gift
David?
or something. You need to send like a
So-
care package to New York.
yeah, exactly.
There you
So,
go.
but okay. So, Julian, I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No,
your
you're
favorite
fine.
ride. Favorite ride.
Favorite ride? Oh, I must be the only person under 30 whose favorite attraction at Disney is the Tiki Room.
Oh wow.
I don't know why I'm terrified of birds outside of the Tiki Room, and I don't know why I enjoy it as much as I do. But then my favorite ride will probably be Kilimanjaro Safaris.
Nice. Nice.
I love
Oh,
animals. Like I can't say no. You know.
Because of Blake's look, I'm going to say Rock and Roll Roller Coaster, but go ahead.
No. So this is gonna be really surprising. I don't know why, but I love Mine Train.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
The animatronics alone always blow my mind, and every time I ride that ride, I'm like, oh my god, technology. Where are we going with this? And it's almost the same with the Frozen one too. Like they're not the most thrilling rides, but the technology alone, I watch that all day.
Oh yeah.
Were you able to get on Mickey's Runaway Railway before they shut down?
No, nope,
Because
never
you
got on.
technology and blowing your mind. I'm like,
I've heard.
Is it cool? I'm still mad they got rid of Great Movie. So I'm
Yeah.
bitter about it.
But version 2 was not as good as version 1 is Great Movie Ride. I don't know
No.
if you remember the two differences.
Yeah.
Like,
I
version
agree.
2 was rough.
Yeah.
Which one would you get, the Western or the gangsters?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
It's
is way better.
Gangsters.
Jordan and Julie, do you share the same one? Different?
Oh, I don't know actually. What is yours?
Mine would probably be either Tower of Terror or Haunted Mansion. I'm a big fan of both of those. Really light, happy.
Great picks.
Yeah, I love those. The classic.
Sure.
I gotta say Everest.
Yeah, it was.
And I'll tell you why, because it's a roller coaster, but it also tells a story, and there's more to it than just drops.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Disney does so well. It's the reason you like Mine Train. It's not just like a cute roller coaster. It like stops and you slow down and you go through the mine and you see all these amazing animatronics and there's a story along with it. And I think that's what Everest does so well.
Is it because the Yeti moves so light? Oh, sorry. Scratch that. We'll edit that out. No worries.
That's actually one that I don't mind not having fast pass for. Like the line is like cool to walk through. For
Totally.
sure.
That's true.
You know,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And one of my guilty pleasures, should I admit this, is Enchanted Tales with Belle.
Oh
I
man,
think it's so cute.
That's adorable.
it is.
That is my wife's
Anybody
favorite.
that comes to visit me at Disney World, I always take them to that because I feel like it just kind of encapsulates what Disney is all about.
Mhm.
You know, cool technology type stuff, but also interaction with the character and this whole story arc. It's very cool.
It's great.
Even though
Get
it's.
picked?
Oh, did you ever get picked, Jordan? At Bell.
I got for the
Yeah!
Super, oh yeah.
You're 100% the night every time, weren't you?
I'd say probably 75% of the time I was a night. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Joe wants to know, what's the feeling you get like when you perform in a parade or a show, Mr. Joe Flaherty?
Man,
I think I don't know about you guys like with like seeing the mountain or anything like that, but I remembered like my first time doing Festival of Fantasy. Like it's like it's a marathon that you're dancing down an inch at a time. But then like when it's like getting you get like a weird like second wind as soon as you like look up and you see the castle to your left. Like it's like that adrenaline really kicks in, like into high gear.
And we've heard that before.
Yeah, you realize where you were. And like my first day of training, like after when we started like going down the route, one of our trainers like just said, "Hey, look at the castle if you like are freaking out and like feeling the blackness like rush in.
Oh,
Just look at the castle and everything will be fine." And that was true. It was incredible. You know, like once you pass one of those like icons and you realize where you are and what you're doing and what you get to do.
yeah, that's
Like that's always been something cool for me.
Blake, your first time? I mean, was it?
it was ironically enough. So when I was in custodial, when I was doing my college program, they just released Festival of Fantasy, and I remember looking at the Tangle float, and I said, "I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to do it." And no less than like a few months later, got an entertainment, and I became a swing thug for one of the units for FOF. And that by far is always my favorite parade, my favorite just everything we do. And we have such a camaraderie up there with Flynn and the other thugs and Rapunzel, and we're like secretly laughing our heads off and just enjoying it. So
awesome.
it's one of those things where yes, we get a second win, but because we're all supporting each other, it's just so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know.
Nathalia, you got a great feeling. Was it awesome? Is it?
Show or parade feeling?
Yeah, of course. I feel like it's the best feeling. You get a little nervous, but it's amazing. And as he said, you have all your Disney friends with you, supporting you, and it's just so fun. Yeah. I loved it.
That's awesome.
I know we can't ask certain things, so we won't. But Jordan, Dapper Dans, is it?
The Dapper Dans was so cool because it's the first thing Main Street is the first thing that guests see when they come in. So you get to see their excitement every time they walk down the street. That's what I loved about the Dapper Dans so much. Everybody was seeing the castle for the first time, and Main Street just like transports you to this different world with our chimes and our taps and the streetcars and the horses, and it's amazing experience. And then the flag retreat. I don't know if you guys have ever done the flag retreat.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of a little known thing. People always, overlook it, but it's truly magical. It was my favorite set of the day, which ironically was also the easiest thing that we did all day. We just stood in one spot, no tapping, no chiming, no shtick. We just stand and salute the flag and sing God Bless America and the national anthem. But having that honored veteran there, a lot of times they can't stand on their own, but they stand. For some, they get that, the emotion gets in them, and they are able to stand in that moment and salute the flag, and it's just, man, it tears you up every single time. It's so magical. Love it.
Special.
Yeah.
Definitely special.
Yeah.
Joe Flaherty's asking earliest Disney memory.
Or did Miss Julian get Miss Julie's hand?
I didn't know if we could. I didn't. I will cut you off by far.
What just
there for like 11 years, so it was, and which you would think you kind of get tired of it towards the end, but yeah, it was magical the whole time. I always got goosebumps. One of the coolest things, I got to be in Festival Fantasy on the opening day, and that was like one of the coolest things ever. Just going down Main Street, doing something that nobody had ever seen, and getting to be a part of that. And we were all a mess. It was so magical. And
how high pressure was it for you guys? Because I know like when I did the new My Side, we were freaking out up until like day one.
Wait, what was the question?
Like how I'm with such a big parade like that, I can't even, like, I remember doing opening the new My Side last year, and we were all freaking out, like right up until like even past first or second set or first or second show. So I can't even imagine what FOF must have been for you guys.
It was just such a cool build up, and it was so fun time getting to learn it and meeting everyone and bringing something all together, to show everyone. And it was just a really cool experience. And
Julie always talks about how when she's coming down the street on one of the floats, she'll see like a little girl dressed as whatever character that is, and she'll give them a wave or blow them a kiss or whatever, and then that little girl will look over at their mom and then go like, "Oh my gosh, did you see that?" And then the mom will look up at whoever that character is and say thank you. And like that's just, I think that's so cool. I love that.
15 years ago, the first time I took my kids, my daughter, we did the Bippity Boppity Boop and Boutique, and I paid thousands of dollars for a Cinderella dress and everything and I did the whole thing, and that's every dime I spent on the trip and everything like that. And during the parade, Cinderella did exactly that, waved to her, blew her a kiss, and here she is, 21 years old, and she still talks about it today. So it means the world. It's everything. It's so
it never gets old.
No. That's why we're here, and that's what this is all about, and that's why thousands of people watch Jen and all that is so when they can't be there, this is what it is. And
that's why Disney will still be here after all this is over.
And a lot of people come on the show and they can't believe it. Like Erica, when she was on, and Jen can attest, Erica said that her family thought that she was nuts doing an interview about her experiences at Disney. It's like, what are you talking about? But Jen has 15,000 subscribers that'll say you're wrong, because that's what they're for. So
I love it. I'm always out there. I'm more that if I'm not there, I went to 26 Mickey's Not So Scary. I will go to every parade, and I'm always filming. Like, I don't do rides. I'm here to do shows. This is what this is what I'm putting hard-earned money for. I will, get up early on Sundays and Main Street. I'm there, filming the Dapper Dans, and it's all the trolley show. Like, I got to get there early so I can do both shows, and I've got it down in the Science Festival Fantasy, of course. I'm there.
So what is your Disney World experience going to be like without any of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, another one of the last questions I wanted to point out was like, wow, they're not calling in a lot of entertainment because we're not going to have that for phase one. No fireworks, no parades, no shows. I think it's going to be mainly locals because I know support is going to be what this preview, class holder preview, and then locals. I think that's what like the phasing is. I'm, refreshing our opening page there because one of our friends works on the back end for Disney, does the websites and stuff. I'm like, he's like, this is the page, just keep refreshing, we update it every day, what it's going to be like, July 11th with a very limited hours as well. So it's very 8 to 6, that kind of thing. And then Epcot and DHS not opening until 10, 11 o'clock. That's kind of hours are different. It's just going to be very different. Yeah, that's the big question, pretty much from every viewer. And that's why I'm trying to do every little opening that we have to understand what it's like. And I think we've done an amazing job with, compliance and everybody's just, we have the GS cast members in their yellow outfits at Disney, like the mask police, cracking the whip, making sure everything has their mask.
Jen, didn't they have stormtroopers out there yesterday?
They did.
Troopers. I was like, we have a satellite first order station. We're trying to recruit someone. So it was really awesome. Yeah, they were at the AMC Theater as well as on top of Ever After. So it was really cool. I think we've only ever had characters here when Minnie had her Rock Lock special and she, got in her minivan off to California right before she did her special. I think that was the last time I remember having anything like that at Disney Springs. So, we don't get a lot in Disney Springs, but these little things are exciting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, there's the big question right there. I asked earlier. Joe said, what is your advice for people looking to audition for Disney and, want to live their dream? Everybody has a different journey, and you guys have successfully completed it. So this is the big one I usually ask. Is this a good one?
Any advice for people that want to audition for Disney Entertainment?
Well,
Keep going.
I think I think the big thing that, and this goes for any audition, I think we all can speak to this. One of the things that I think we can all credit our, glorious luck and blessings in, being a part of the Disney Entertainment, family, was that when we auditioned, like it was an audition, but we were able to have fun and enjoy the experience most of all.
Exactly.
And I think like if choreography is one thing, sure, and like, you want to advance as far as you can and whatnot, but choreography, vocals, everything that I feel like we've all auditioned for. I remembered seeing someone at the same call that I did. It was for the I forget what it was for, but I saw them at callbacks the next day after not hitting like a single note that I listened to through the doors. Same thing when I auditioned for characters in parades. One person like messed up every single bit of choreo. And I saw them like 2 weeks later at the same shift. So I feel like the advice that the choreographers and the casting team gives you of enjoy yourself and let that show is dead serious. And they can tell when you feel the pressure's on you.
Right.
So like, yeah, you get too much in your head. And I feel like that advice taken to its logical extreme will serve anyone very, very well. Like, don't worry about it too much. Because if you do, it'll show in everything that you do.
Right.
Yeah, you just have fun. That's really what it comes down to. And don't stop going. Just keep going. Like, I know this one performer, she used to be an attendant. It took her over 70 times.
Wow.
70 times.
That's what I was going to ask.
Who was it?
She's very persistent. Erin, I don't know if you know Erin. She is friends with Snow.
I feel like I do. Maybe not.
But
I've heard that story before. I feel like.
Human being. Like,
Yeah.
just that alone, just to go 70 times, and I think it was even closer to 80.
Wow.
Like, she wouldn't stop. And I like it blew my mind, and that was just such dedication. I think that's what it really comes down to, is just that dedication. If you really, really want something in life, whatever it is, you just keep going.
Yeah.
You do whatever it takes.
That's amazing.
I always tell people to be as versatile as you can.
Yeah.
And this goes for any audition, any performing venue, any performing setting. You want to have, I talk about a toolbox. You want to have as many tools in your box as possible, because you never know what you're going to need when you get into that audition or whatever show it is. Whether you're going to have to dance, or whether you're going to have to sing, or whether you're going to have to be funny or be serious, like you want to have all of it, you know. And I think that will get you very far. And
I'll tell you what, if you guys ever want to hear an awesome story, if you refer back to Jen's interview with Erica Apple, she's a big character in Move It, Shake It. She did American Idol, and she went to New York. Then they told her to go to Tennessee. Then they asked her to go to Virginia, and she flew to Virginia, and she walked out on stage, and she sang in front of it. And I believe, wasn't it, California Girls, what is her name?
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry told her that she thinks she has what it takes, but she needs to perfect her singing. And she was devastated. And she flew home to Florida. And the next day, she had a callback for Move It, Shake It. And she never thought, and she wore the exact same clothes she wore to American Idol. She walked in and she killed it, and she got the lead role at Move It, Shake It.
Cool story.
I mean, when she's telling the story, it's like, you've got to be kidding me, you know? And she's like, Katy Perry was my idol and everything like that. And she goes, I went out there, and she goes, I threw a bag of garbage on the floor. She goes, that's how bad it was. And so, but, yeah, so it's just what you guys are saying is it gives 70 times. I mean, that gives hope, like, to people that just never give up and take each as a learning experience. You know, what can I do different? And Jordan, I'm sure, and I don't want to bring up, if you don't want to talk about it, you mentioned earlier you tried Wicked the first time and it didn't go. I mean,
3 times.
Oh.
Yeah. I went the first time in November 2017. Made it all the way through to the final callback, and it was between me and 2 other guys. And one of the guys is actually now the current Fierro on Broadway, so that's kind of cool. His name's Sam. And then I went again, maybe a year and a couple months later, and I thought for sure, I was like, this is my time. It's going to be me. And it came down to me and one other guy, and he ended up getting it. But then the very last time that I went in was 6 months later, and that guy that they ended up taking didn't work out. They didn't really like what he was doing, and so they just brought me in, and it was just me alone, which I kind of knew at that point. I think I've got this, and then I got the job. So 3 times for Wicked. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So Nathalia, do you have any stories of? I mean, your
audition story, same thing, anything like that, advice?
Yeah. I think, well, know who you are in the room, be confident, and just be yourself. I think that's really important. I think those are my biggest things. Just like confidence, be yourself. Yeah. And just enjoy yourself, like he said. But yeah.
Have a good time. Awesome.
So Blake, I have a question. You competed in I get bodybuilding for quite a while. It's a different testosterone filled gym you're in or whatever. How did you deal with the boys or the girls and them finding out that you were going to be at Disney? Did anybody give you a lot of grief about that?
No, honestly, everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. They think it's just so cool. And people have like this misconception, I guess, when it comes to bodybuilding and gyms. They're, of course, the guys that you don't really want to associate with, the girls you don't want to really associate with, and they're just all about the likes and the Instagram and all that stuff. But there is an art to bodybuilding that's like performing. you are your own sculpture. You are trying to, build yourself to present a piece of art to the audience. So anytime we do these bodybuilding shows, we pose to certain music, we have a routine, it's all made up. We all make it ourselves. So there is so many similarities to performing and bodybuilding. There's an art to it. It's not just lifting and pumping iron. It's such a different realm, and so that just kind of came together. And my love for bodybuilding and my love for Disney really happened once I got to Florida. I've been living in Florida for 6 years. I started Disney in 6 years, and both of it just happened, and it just kind of grew from there. Because I never really did sports in high school. Like I was snowboarding, rock climbing, ultimate frisbee. Like didn't do any sports, and just kind of fell in love with weightlifting once I got to Florida. And just everything else kind of took off from there. I did theater. I did theater in high school. I did musicals. Like I was the most random kid you'd ever think of to do all that.
I always found it funny because being a construction worker and working with iron workers and everything, that when people find out that I go to Florida twice a year to Disney, and at first I get grief, and then after everyone disperses, the guy comes up to me and he goes, "Yeah, me and my wife went last year, and it's so cool, and we want to go back again." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, but you were just part of the guys giving me crap about being this long-haired, bearded biker guy that goes to Disney World or whatever." But so I was just curious on
it's the guy thing, man. They're just busting your chops.
Right.
So, but secretly, they all want to go to Disney.
They all want to go.
Sure. That's the funny part.
100%.
So.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. How about you, Miss Julie? Do you have any stories of like auditioning? You're a seasoned performer, of course, so I'm sure you have some good tips and tricks.
I'm trying to think. When I went to my first audition, I went in Oklahoma City I was auditioning for a college program, like 100 years ago, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just went for fun and thought, why not? And then got, really fortunate with that audition. But I've always, danced, and I've always loved performing, and it's just really about just, in being that Disney magic that you love and trying to bring that to life. And just, I don't know, just have a good time and smile. It sounds silly, but a lot of times you forget to smile and you forget to connect, which is really important. And it's kind of the thing that Disney does. So.
Well, here's the question that I don't think we've ever asked, Jen, is we've asked what advice and everything like that, but when you go for an audition, are you given like lines to say beforehand to study, or is it when you walk in the door? Do they say, here, read this, or how does it go? Anyone?
I think it depends on.
It depends on the audition.
It depends on the call.
It really depends on what's going on, because there's technically two separate. So a lot of times there's just auditions for character performing, what I do. And then there's other auditions for equity, which could, be, singing, dancing, whole different thing. So a lot of these auditions are very different, to where I would say character performing, the auditions are a lot easier, to where the equity auditions are a little bit more skilled. You need to know how to sing, or at least have a rough idea. You have to have a dance background, a little bit more, confidence in audition, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of times when you go into the initial audition, you bring your own song,
bring your own book,
or your own material, and then if based on that they think, oh, this guy might fit this show, they will give you material for what's known as the callback, and then you come and you do 1 or 2 or even 3 callbacks sometimes to prove your worthiness for the show.
Or if you're auditioning for film, they send you like little bits of parts of the script.
Right.
You have to
Which is
memorize
really
everything.
challenging, because a lot of times you don't get the whole script.
Yep.
So you just get this little scene of.
And you have to get context from like thin air.
Oh, wow.
Weirdest, most awkward thing.
Wow.
My last casting was like that. I had no background, like the story, nothing. And I had to come in and I had to start crying. Like first line, cry. And it's-
Wow.
So that was a
Yeah.
challenging one.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
That's like some eye drops in the eyes nonsense that you have to
Yeah. Put some icy hot under there. or
Exactly. Yeah.
something.
Now, so for those of you that are still affiliated with Disney, are you looking forward to the reopening?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, for me, I might sneak down there. I still know a couple of shows, so I might sneak down there until Wicked comes back, when the entertainment world comes back. So I still know, I still know Beauty and the Beast and the Hoop-Dee-Doo review, so I could pop in and pick up a shift here and there.
If the luau opens back up, like I would love to like come back down anyway, the same way.
So Jordan, you did Hoop-Dee-Doo?
I did. Yeah, that. I actually learned Hoop before I learned Voices of Liberty, the stage version.
And when did you, like, what times did you do Hoop-Dee? Do you remember, like, what years or?
I learned it in 2016, and I did it all the way up until I left. But I did it a lot that first year, a lot. And then once I learned a lot more shows, I was kind of pulled to more stages, so I didn't get to do it as often. I was at the Dapper Dans a decent amount. I was at Beauty and the Beast the most, believe it or not. For some reason, Gastons just call out all the time. I don't know what it is.
I'm surprised you never. I'm surprised you never did Nemo during all that time too.
Yeah, Nemo just never worked out. I don't know. I don't really have there's not really a role in there that fits me. Crush is freakishly high, and I'm more of like a medium high tenor, and I'm not really a character actor, so I don't know. It never really spoke to me in that way.
So now, can you do that? Can you go back and say, "Hey, can I pick up some shows?" Even though
seasonal, if you pray for it, right? If you've been if you passed through assessment.
Yeah. So there's actually, this is wild. There's a girl named Jennifer Newberry who is a Glinda understudy who was a Nemo for a while, and she helped train me into Hoop-Dee-Doo, and we're both on this Wicked national tour now, which is wild. And she goes back occasionally to pick up some Nemo shifts, just to kind of keep her foot in the door with Disney, and because you never know what could happen.
I think that's wise. Yeah.
And we love Disney. I mean, I love being there and I love performing there. So the longer I can keep connected with the company, the happier I'll be.
I don't think you would have left the chicken in the pot behind you if you didn't love Disney. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is so cool. I mean, it's like seasonal status, right? You're able to do that, like for entertainment, if they have shifts available. I've heard of other people doing that as well. Like at least that's an open. I think that's very unique to entertainment. So I don't know too many people, and depending on your line of business that you look at, is what you put where you can go. But I did know a guy who could work at 11 Disney bars because he was trained in passive Kappa at 11 Disney bars. I'm like, dang, okay.
And I think that goes for like every department, right? As long as you keep the skill, like you can.
You can like up to a year to be able to keep the
something
skill.
Like that, yeah.
Renew it.
Right.
And also, if you have a good relationship with your stage and your stage managers, if you are kind to them, they'll be kind to you. So
exactly.
If you
good tip,
treat them well, they will call you in for more shifts.
Yep.
It works that way, unfortunately.
There you go, guys.
People are people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treat them kindly. That's just the way it is, Yeah, how do you guys deal with the? I mean, I know it's especially Florida, like it's hot out there. I mean, do you think you're better suited to be able to wear masks at the park as guests because of your experience working in that heat and those costumes and wigs and hot costumes? I mean, you think you're more like cardiovascularly in better shape, or just do this and like you think you'll be okay going to the parks and you have to?
I don't know about better shape, but like I think you're just used to like being under that like weird, it's 90 degrees, and if you're dancing in 90 degrees, what difference is one more layer when we're walking and dancing and singing through water
True, nonstop.
the entire time? You know what I mean? So I don't know about in shape, but like definitely maybe conditioned to the
Better.
swamp. Yeah, for sure.
A lot of people have been complaining about that. You know, my main advice to them is just the fact that every day, even walking around the neighborhood, whatever form of exercise you do, walk into the mailbox, do it with your mask on, just to practice. I mean, that's all. Just that's the way. Now I barely even notice it. So I've been wearing masks since this whole started, and even going to the grocery store. You know, and you just get used to it after.
I said it to Scott. It's a private business. Disney could do whatever they want. If they require people to wear masks, if you want to go to Disney, wear a mask. Like, regardless of how your view is on it, regardless if it works or not, just if you want to go, you got to do it.
Yeah.
They make rules.
It's like seatbelts.
And if that's what we have to do to get back to normal and get to go to Disney, who cares, man? Put a mask on.
Exactly.
Let's go. Let's get this thing going.
Let's do it. We're ready. Absolutely. Everything when you come. I think nobody knows when really we're coming back. We're all in, I'm sure, different groups where.
Alone does not know, especially with all the updates. If we're coming back, eventually we will. We just don't know when.
Yeah, there's dates, and there was we just keep up on this stuff as often as I can. And I tell folks always, if you are on a official Disney website, go. I always post the page where the reopening updates are. So this is the only page that matters. Is if it comes from Disney, then it's real.
Well, and I've even heard stories of people saying that when the first Disney Springs were supposed to open, that a lot of the employees weren't even told by their managers or anything like, hey, this is going to be announced. And then it's announced, they hear about it. And then hours later, they get an email saying, oh, yeah, you got to come back. And it's like, wait, what? And it's like, that's how quick, you know what I mean? But there's no rules. I mean, unless you were around in 1918, I don't think we've really ever gone through this. So, just saying.
We just got to be ready. But I think now we've also heard other that now that we have sort of a date when we're opening the parks, they can go home because some of them haven't been afraid to go home to visit family maybe because I don't know if I'm going to get called in any minute. So they're in Orlando, but now that we know we're going to have a month to go. So we've heard that from one of our friends that he would like to go home with his dad for a little bit and then come back so that gives some time. So, I guess it depends if you stayed here for the quarantine or home to go visit your family and stuff. So.
Well, and I think too, it's a matter of time before World of Disney releases a super cool looking mask, and then everyone's like, we're wearing masks now.
Oh, it's already at Top Disney. It was released a couple weeks ago. So
Wow.
I'm the merch queen. All my money goes right back to Disney, so I did end up. But I am making my own Disney mask.
That's cool.
Nice.
Girl is ready.
Those are awesome.
Oh wait, here's what you're really gonna like.
Oh man,
That's incredible looking.
Wow.
We've been making Disney masks galore. So
we have had so many sewing streams making masks.
You know what? I feel like one of my probably one of my best friends just bought one of your masks, Jen.
Probably.
I think so. She was sending me pictures, and I'm 99% sure now that that's one of yours.
Probably. I've been. That's how I've been keeping busy. The mask orders are so long, but I'm like, I might as well. I have a sewing machine. I learned how to sew long ago. I usually just make ears. I actually have matching ear and mask combos, and that's what I've been making. Going to the parks, I got a whole, arsenal, a new wardrobe. I said, hey, it's just like anything, spirit jerseys, ears. It'll be mask and ear combos. It's just you just add it to your accessory and
I love it.
I think it's great.
On my whole list, I have one more question. It's totally off topic. Nothing we've ever asked.
Oh, okay.
Blake, gamer. Do you still game?
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's another thing I've been finishing. I've been finishing so many campaigns. Back to Star Wars again. I just finished Fallen Order. That took forever. So definitely big gamer. Definitely doing a lot of that.
So I seen back you used to do some videos and back in the day and stuff like that. So, and I did see you said something about cons, Comic Cons. So this is a big MegaCon community here. So, so on that note, do any of you ever, I know Blake's answer, but I mean, he can answer, but go to Comic Cons, Mega Cons, anything like that?
I love them. I went to MegaCon last year. I was fat for. It was enjoyable. I loved it, and I'll go again. The cons are amazing.
They are.
My little sister's trying to rope me into going to San Diego.
Oh,
To visit her out west too.
that's the numero uno there, man.
Oh yeah. So
Our Comic Con is huge.
I've seen them before. Like literally just walking past like Hudson Yards to go to brunch and seeing Thor walk down the street by the Javits Center is the funniest thing.
Your New York one's really big too. New York
It is huge. It is huge, and like the venue, the Javits Center is gorgeous.
Massive.
And it's massive. Yeah, for sure.
Nathalia, have you ever thought of going to a Comic Con or anything like that? It dressed up or anything, or no?
Disney.
No, guys. So, okay, I'm gonna confess something to you, but please don't judge. So,
No.
I grew up here in Colombia, moved to the States 7 years ago. I've never been to one of those. I just learned about them like 2 years ago because a lot of the Disney people go to those,
Mhm.
but I've never been. And so during quarantine, I've been watching the Marvel movies for the first time. I've never seen those before.
Awesome.
So I've been catching up with my boyfriend. He's like, you need to know this stuff.
Which one are you on right now? Which one?
Thor, Dark.
Okay.
The second Thor one, Dark.
Okay.
Thor: Dark World. The worst one.
Everyone's face just fell out of the sky.
Yeah. I'll just skip it. We'll skip that one.
No, it's fine.
I am loving those movies, guys.
It is.
I feel like my favorite superhero is Iron Man. He's amazing.
Well, I mean, come on.
Catgirl.
He's Tony Stark. I mean, come on. So
he's awesome.
I mean, although it's out there already, but it's awesome. Disney.
Jordan, Julie, have you ever Comic-Con?
Never been
Nope. I've never been. I've never done anything like that. I mean, I love watching, the movies and that sort of thing. I've never read comic books, and I don't know. It's just a world that I haven't really dived into.
Not so much like it's comics, but being that you're character performers as well. Like you're basically getting adults getting to dress up and like look at the best life because we can't do it.
That is true.
Yeah, I've played dress up for a long time, so I feel like I got my fix.
That's cool.
But see people say Disney. There's always like a Disney day, especially at MegaCon Orlando. We always go. My honey's he's a cosplayer in the family. He does a Jedi Darkwing Duck. If you've seen a Darkwing Duck at MegaCon, it's probably him. My as a Mandalorian.
It's fantastic. His
costumes, but he loves it. I mean, and I'm like,
but he's got the Mayor of Main Street look. He's got everything. He's
cool.
That's so cool.
Vest and his top hat, ready to trade pins with anything. But he enjoys it. And that's what you got to do. Doesn't matter how old you are. I think just brings it out. That kind of thing.
Speaking of costumes, I started this last year's Halloween costume. Nathalia, did you go Did you go to a Halloween party? What did you dress as for Halloween if you went out? A Halloween party?
I couldn't hear you.
Halloween party? Did you dress up to go to a Halloween party last year, and what did you go as?
Actually, yes, but it's kind of like, so my boyfriend directed the tassel show for Halloween, the new firework show, and so we both got we were twinning with a Jack shirt and all wearing black and the Jack ears. So that was my Halloween costume.
That's so awesome.
That was really fun. I love that show. So.
Amazing.
Blake, I can't wait to hear what you went out for a Halloween party last year.
Man, I wish, man. I was working. I was at one of the Halloween parties. I was at Mickey's Not So Scary that night, which is honestly one of my favorite shifts ever. I love doing that because I get to help out Gaston and Belle, and that just duo together is just hilarious.
That's awesome. Julian, did you go to a Halloween party, anything last year?
Yeah, let me think. My girlfriend wanted to go twice. So Oh no, that was 2 Halloweens ago. Last Halloween. Oh my goodness. I'll talk about two Halloweens ago because I was in New York and I was working. I was being boring. 2 Halloweens ago, me and my then girlfriend did. If y'all remember the show Jake Long American Dragon on Disney Channel.
Yep.
We went as that. I like dyed. I like spray painted my hair like green. Did the jacket, the jean shorts, the everything, and she had
amazing.
all of the stuff with her already, so it was perfect.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We
It was a
didn't do
deep
anything.
cut.
No? You guys are burned out, eh?
Were we working?
You were working.
I think I was working. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
if you
working
haven't
at
seen it,
the radio,
that's Jake
the Radio
Long right
City.
there.
Oh,
That's what it was.
awesome.
Oh, I can definitely see that for
Yeah.
sure.
Totally. So,
Got you.
But yeah, I was in rehearsals for the Radio City Christmas Spectacular thing, and so I didn't get to do anything. So that was lame.
We didn't dress up. We were
Yeah.
boring.
My daughter is asking, what did I go for Halloween? And last year, I went for Sleepy Night Night. I think I was in bed last year, Halloween, at 8 o'clock. So that is
That's
my
good,
daughter at
honestly.
Michigan State. Boy, this is a rare occurrence. You guys have brought out both my kids on the same night. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like dad of the year. This must be my Father's Day gift.
I think it's like a wild success.
So I thank you all. I can't believe it.
here, I appreciate. Wow, about 2 hours straight. People are chatting. Is there anything that you guys want people to know that you have upcoming projects or where can they find you aside from your Instagram? Is that the best place where they can find you? Can you find out where you're performing, or if you have new music coming out, or obviously the Wicked dates, things like that? Like, where can people find you? And make sure y'all are following them on Instagram. It is in the description box, ready to go. So is that where you guys usually have your information?
Yeah, Instagram.
Go ahead.
Okay, so during quarantine, I wanted to. Well, I've been doing 2 different, like, kind of bigger projects. One was for my boyfriend's birthday, and that was just a gift for him. I got together some of his friends to sing, and that was cute. But right now, I'm kind of like directing this project, and I graduated from musical theater, as I told you guys. So I got a bunch of my friends, like, we're like 30 people singing to this one song. It's an ensemble piece, and it's gonna be really cool. So that's coming up. It's gonna be on my Instagram. So if you guys like music and all that stuff, go follow me, and yeah, it'll be there. So yeah.
All the links are below, so just make sure you follow them all. But no, I'm really looking forward to that, Nathalia.
That's awesome.
Anyone?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of writing. Anything that I have will either be on my Instagram, and then if I'm doing originals, I'm working on a couple of tracks right now. You can find those on either Instagram or SoundCloud most of the time. Just my name. Yeah.
Perfect. Blake?
Yeah, I would say, got the film that we're working on right now in development. It's called 1864. It's about the Civil War. Thanks to my mustache, apparently I'm going to play a Confederate general.
That's the real reason for the mustache now.
Really?
We're on it now.
But it's in production right now. So probably just follow my Instagram, see what the updates are, and we'll see where it goes. Once it's done, it's going to go out to all the film festivals in the United States and see where it takes off.
Awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Julian and I we're just enjoying life right now, just being married and that sort of thing, and kind of
nothing wrong with that.
As I said, I feel like it's just been grind for 5-6 years now. So it's kind of nice to just take the foot off the pedal for a little while. But when Wicked comes back, go see Wicked. It's the perfect location for you Disney goers. I mean, we're in Orlando, so.
What is the exact dates there in Orlando?
Oh, it's big, Jen. They're there quite a bit.
I missed it last time, but now I'm talking about the dates. When are they coming?
I am not 100% positive on that. But if you go to wickedthemusical.com. Oh, wait, Scott's got it.
March 10th until March 28th.
Oh, okay.
That's a while.
Yeah, every day except for Mondays and one Tuesday they are at. I mean, it's every day. And Saturdays and Sundays is 2 shows. So it's
And if you miss Orlando, you can't go to Orlando. We'll be in Tampa as well. So.
and I'm gonna be that guy texting you, what show you in, Jordan? What show you in, Jordan?
Well, I'll
What
be
show
in
you?
every show.
Okay.
Whether or not I'm Fiero or not, that's up in the air.
You're working you're performing in every show. Okay, that's awesome. Because I said the last time it went around, there was something going on that we couldn't. We went through tickets. I'm like, if it goes on sale, let's buy it now.
Yeah.
I am so excited to see what the future holds for all 5 of you. You guys, where you've come from, and like I said, that is my favorite part of doing this, is being able to look at the paths you guys started on and where you're now. I just can't wait to see what the future holds. And all of you are going to do fantastic things. You're all fantastic people, and I can't thank you enough for being here. So,
yeah, there's Joe in relation to that question and comment. Joseph, where do you see you guys yourselves 5 to 10 years from now? Like, what is your ultimate goal? Like, where do you want this to go career-wise? Or what do you see yourself doing in the future?
Oh gosh.
I know it's a hard one.
That's a hard question. 10 years. Let's put it this way. I did not expect myself to be where I am now in 5 years.
Right.
So I'm just let life just keep going and go with the flow.
Very awesome.
I think at some point, Julie and I would like to take our own kid to go to Disney World at some point and meet a character or see the Voices of Liberty or the Dapper Dans and say like, hey, we did that at one point.
Sorry, not being so cute. God damn it. Guys, feel him.
All have
I
matching
take
shirts
him.
and be
He's like perfect.
They're gonna form like a family band.
yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah.
probably.
I need to find one of you, Jordan. That's what I need to find.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
But yeah, I mean, yeah.
So, Nathalia, where do you want to be? Do you want to be an actress, a producer, a director? Where would you like to be in 10 years?
Well, my biggest dream is to be on Broadway. That is my biggest dream. So
I know a guy you can talk to.
There's a guy.
I'm just saying.
Right there.
I know, right?
You're right there.
Yeah, my dream role is Eliza Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
I've been called back for it, but it didn't work. I auditioned for it like once and got all the callbacks and stuff, but it didn't happen. But I can't wait to be back in the United States so I can audition again. That's my biggest dream. So
Awesome.
hopefully one day.
Isn't it coming to Disney Plus now? Hamilton?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
Mr. Julian, where do you want to be in 10 years?
Well, wherever the work takes me. We're all performers, right? So we don't know where to go. There, whatever my agent sends me. Hopefully, I have another story. Third time's a charm with Hamilton. This time, getting past the final round. We'll cross our fingers for that.
You guys got this. You guys.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, Julian, have you gotten callbacks for it too?
I got all the way to the end for Lawrence Phillip. I think once or twice. That's what moved me up to New York. So hopefully, wherever the work takes us, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I support you all 150,000%. I think it's fantastic that you guys are doing what you love. And I said that I was done asking questions, but I got one more, Jordan. I cannot let it go. Did you ever race Michael Phelps?
Oh, my gosh.
I'm sorry.
The better question is, did I ever win?
Well, I wasn't going to go there.
No.
I wasn't. Ryan Lochte, maybe? Did you win?
I beat Ryan Lochte once.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
And you didn't dye your hair.
I was rested and he was very tired, but
still,
we'll talk about that.
If things would have been different, we would have never have had the Lochte problem. It would have been Jordan. He wouldn't have done what he did, and it would have been history would have been changed.
His hair would have been normal colors the entire time.
Yeah, he's really good though.
Yeah,
I'll give him that.
And funny.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I watched his reality show, so I had to ask Jordan. I'm sorry, but I had to ask.
No, I love it. I love it.
parties. Oh, are you talking about a Halloween party? Oh, yeah. Reese, thank you for sharing your Disney stories. We love the stream. It was awesome. The Halloween parties or any of the parties will go. Honestly, that's my main thing. I'm a Halloween person. I bought that party pass. I'm a platinum pass holder because I can't be blacked out. And I'm gonna see how I'm that person always there every party. I happen to work day shift, so I'm running to the park as my shift is done.
I can't thank you guys enough because this is the first time ever I get to X out every question I wanted to ask.
There you go, Scott. Come on.
Even the ones that I was not gonna ask about swimming, and so thanks for being a good sport, Jordan. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you, guys.
You guys
Oh,
want
I'm
to?
so sorry.
Yeah, if you have any last thoughts or feelings to that, we can start round table. Start with you, Miss Nathalia. Anything else you want to say before we?
Sure. I just want to say thank you guys so much for inviting us and for having this space. It was super fun. And yeah, thanks.
It was so awesome.
We love it. Thank you so much. And how about Jordan and Julie? Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, it's our
I didn't
pleasure.
even know I was gonna be here.
Julie, thank you so much for coming.
Real MVP.
Thanks for having me.
If Jordan wouldn't have pulled you in, I wouldn't have been able to X out my list though, because the friends question.
I'm glad I could help. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I mean, anytime we get a chance to reminisce on the good times at Disney, we love to do it. So thank you for bringing us in.
Thank you guys for that. We appreciate that.
And a special thanks, Jen, to a certain man named Joe, I think.
Who reached out to you guys. He was so wonderful and really made an impression. He loves Disney and from across the pond. We can't wait to come back.
I love Joe. I've been lucky enough to meet Joe plenty of times. Joe, you're an amazing person.
He had nothing.
Once we come back,
he had nothing but fantastic things to say about you all. I can't. If you've got a biggest fan that worked at Disney, it is Joe Flaherty, guys.
Yeah, no, seriously, thank you, Joe, for putting this together. Like,
that's very nice.
This is a big deal. Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
So I know all of Jen's fans and all of your social media friends and everything. Thank you guys for taking the time. I know it's a big deal, but thank you so much.
Of course.
Julian's last thoughts? Anything else? No, you're good. Okay.
And like I tell everyone, I hope I get to see you all in your prime doing what you love and say, hey, you remember that crazy guy that just took a square in an interview? That was me. And you'll be like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. So, but.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Again, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. And thank you, Ohana, for being here. A little night in, now that we have days out finally, but I love all of these. We've been kind of doing these dig a little deeper with mostly Disney entertainment. That's what we love. So thank you guys for making it possible. We really appreciate it. And we'll go ahead and end the stream and get everybody back to doing what they're doing. And yes, now it's your turn to make some magic. Comment, like, subscribe. That's my outro. It's no,
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Really good.
Love you, Joe.
I love you, Joe. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Cheers,
Thank you,
guys.
guys. Thanks, guys.
You guys.
Oh, let's get it going. There we go.